Hey, what's up guys, this is Saman here from Expert Gadgets and welcome to another episode of Best Smartphone Games, and this time it's the month for May. But before we begin, don't forget to subscribe and hit that bell icon if you don't want to miss out on some more upcoming content. And now let's get this video started. Now first up we have Elder Scrolls Blades. The long-awaited Elder Scrolls Blades is here, and to be honest, it does not feel like an Elder Scrolls game. But for the people who don't play them, or just want to have a good Android game, then this is a great RPG game you can play. The graphics are amazing and the controls are pretty easy too. And if you're tired of playing in the landscape mode, then you can easily switch to portrait mode to play your game with ease. Next up we have Distraint 2. This is a game that creeps along and always makes sure that you're unsteady on your feet. It always puts you through things in front of you that you dimly understand. It is haunting as much as it is frightening. It's grim in ways that dirty corridors and tattered drapes can show. It's also just a really well put together adventure game that has some really nice ideas and works brilliantly in the palm of your hand. All in all, this is a brilliant and thrilling package that's going to leave you close to the edge of your seat. Next up we have Daggerhood. Daggerhood is a challenging retro platformer with stages that regularly take under 30 seconds to complete. But it is hard to grab those collectibles and finish under the time limit. Daggerhood also utilizes a really interesting mechanic where you're able to toss a dagger out in front of your character and then teleport yourself to the location of the dagger. And the majority of the game is built around mastering this teleporting mechanic. Overall, you will have to think ahead and be very careful while playing it. Next up we have Streets of Rage 2 Classic. If the classic Saga's beat 'em up Streets of Rage brought a nostalgic tear to your eye, then its sequel is sure to do the same. It's surprising how well Streets of Rage 2 compares to the modern day fighters. Rather than simply filling level after level with generic enemies, Sega has packed each stage with multiple bosses to defeat, each of whom comes back for revenge time and again. The controls are solid and each of the character has his own special ability, which you can use to get out of tight situations at the expense of little health. Next up we have Metal Slug Infinity. Infinity is an idle RPG for mobile phones. That means instead of controlling your units yourself, all you're really tasked with doing is leveling up your character as they go on and fight their own battle against waves upon waves of baddies. It's like a tower defense game, but instead of defending, you're constantly on the offense. But the game does stay true to its predecessors in the music and SFX departments. Next up we have Onslaught Car. Onslaught Car is a casual racing game themed around slot car racing. Much like in real life, you'll have to continually micromanage your speed to ensure that your slot car does not flip over when cornering. And the game's controls method allows for one-tap controls so you can easily play in one hand. and this makes for some very challenging gameplay that feels rewarding when you finish a full course. Next up, we have Marimo League. Here you lead Marimo warriors to victory and gather believers to become the greatest god of the world of Marimos. You must become gods to use the miracles and totems and guide your chosen warriors to victory. You'll also have to gather offerings and materials to build and enhance totems, and the divine power imbued in totems grants Marimos with additional powers. All in all, this game is a great time passer. Next up, we have Hambug. This game plays with one hand in portrait mode, and as the control simply involves swiping different insects and other creatures to move them across tiles, the goal is to land each creature on a star, at which point it will vanish from the board. You have a limited number of moves in each puzzle, so you need to think creatively, and to make sure things are interesting, the creatures all have different movement patterns. Next up, we have Rival Stars Horse Racing. Horse racing might not be a popular sport in the digital gaming industry, but this game is pretty fun to play. You get to build ranches, breed horses, and even follow the storyline. You can also buy or sell horses and look at their stats. The racing part is also pretty fun. You'll have to play very strategically, thinking about the whole race rather than what to do when a racer overtakes you. Next up, we have Idle Coffee Corp. If you've played Idle Clickers before, you know what to expect. Here you tap the carpet by the door to bring customers in faster, and then tap the carpet by your cashier to serve them quickly. And more money allows you to buy more serving stations, a manager to move your money to the safe, new coffee types, and upgrades to make the whole process faster. The game will generate passive income in the background, and tapping just makes the process faster. You can also pay real money to speed up various parts too, but that's certainly not required. All in all, it's a nice idle game if you're looking for a new one. Well, that was it for this video guys. Do leave a thumbs up if you liked it. Don't forget to subscribe and hit that bell icon if you don't want to miss out on some more upcoming content. And as always, thanks for watching. This is Saman signing out.